A very good afternoon to you here on Youth Empowerment Television Show, your most authoritative youth analysis program, and we are here to do this for God and country. Today we are looking at conflict in African marriages and how that can be resolved. And my guest is my guest already seated, Mr. Ogo Chukwu is already here. My producer just made me laugh. All this while I thought I was looking into my camera. I don't know. I was just looking at my light. Oh man, thank you guys so much. Send the messages coming across on 0548503799, 0548503799, or make sure that you send us a text message 0548503799 on Facebook. Drop a comment beneath the comment section so that we read it for you. But this is very interesting. I got off a call and there was just money. So I just got back and instead of me to look at the camera, I've been talking to the light through. Say you're welcome.
Please tell me where my camera is.
It's interesting.
Oh boy.
Not easy. Not easy at all. How are you doing?
It's good to see you again, my brother.
Good to see you.
Yes, and congrats on all the push that you're doing towards the tertiary awards. I've been following.
Thank you.
It's been a lot of work.
I'm most grateful. The energy you put behind me also helps me a lot.
Thank you.
I'm most grateful.
Yes.
Today we are going to give out a book that was written by Mr. Ogo Chukwu, and the title of the book, I started reading my somewhere last weekend. It's done a lot for me so far. It's I don't want to say it's preparing my mind, or it's prepared my mind so far on a lot of things. So far as betrayal is concerned, and if you're watching it on the screen, this is it. And we are giving this copy for you, to you for free. So we'll open the phone lines. I think that's what we'll do. We'll open the phone lines so that would join the engagement. He may ask one or two things, and then or we would find a lucky caller to give this to. Mastering the shades of betrayal. And you can see a woman pushing a man away. I'll ask him why a woman pushing a man.
Oh boy.
We'll come there. Today we are discussing conflict and how to resolve it in African marriages. And now we are so much concerned about African, marriages, African ideologies, African philosophies, culture, and a lot of things. For all the series we have done with you, we have come to see that African marriages are the best. It lasts long, though there may be one or two difficulties. Yeah. You created a very perfect picture of an African marriage, which goes according to tradition and all of that. For us to discuss conflict in African marriages, are there really conflict in African marriages? But we thought we know it best and all of that.
A very, very warm greetings to your cherished listeners. Yeah. As always. The subject of conflict, no matter how minute it is, is something that is very, very consistent, with human society. Yeah. The moment you have more than one person in a space, there is bound to be conflict. There is bound to be friction. Yeah. So the issue now is what those conflicts can be and how to manage the conflict. Yes. The fact that you're coming from two different extremes is enough reason for a conflict. Okay. Yeah. And one of the things that we also recognize in the African society, and I dare say in human society, is that we're all different. Yeah. The way we think, the way we approach issues, the way we deal with issues are all different. Yes. And a society that has respect for nature, even animals and trees, you can imagine the amount of respect they will have for one another. Yeah. But even at that, they do not deny that conflict is bound to happen. Okay. But even when you look into our proverbs, you will come to understand that where there is conflict, there are certain expectations. Okay. And those expectations will usually connect to how, the conflicts are managed. Okay. If you have just joined us, you can send your messages on 0548503799, 0548503799. Today we are going to be allowing Mr. Ogo to do a lot of the education on conflict and its implication on African marriages, how to resolve all of those things, so that you can take your pens and papers, take note of all what we are going to do. Exactly 1:40, we are going to open the phone lines so that you can connect to the show, ask all the questions, and we'll be here
to answer the questions for you.
Okay, so now whenever conflict arises, it means an offense took place. But the very interesting thing about offense is that some of the times offense can be perceived, okay, and it also could be real.
Okay.
So some of the times I can feel offended by your action.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean you offended me. It's just a function of my perception.
Okay.
You know, and so there are certain standards. Even like I said, when you look at our proverbs, okay, there are certain things to just pay attention to. Things like, you know, if you can ask a question, why do you assume? You see, because we also have that proverb that the one who asks questions, you never miss your way.
That's true.
And so the moment you ask questions, you receive understanding. Okay. But then imagine a situation where you've been truly offended. So maybe an instance of how, you know, you can perceive offense even when offense is not there. So you are in an environment. Okay. Let us assume that I didn't grow up in Ghana, so there are some things about the Ghanaian environment I might not know. But one of the things I came to discover about the Ghanaian environment is that it is the person that walks into a space where people are that greets. Okay, irrespective of whether or not he's the older one or the younger one. So the moment you walk in, you need to greet. But where I come from, when you walk in and you know you are an elder, the people that are there will be the ones to greet you. You see. So that little thing can even bring grounds for a conflict. So the person did not intend to offend you, actually does not see that he or she has offended you, but has done something that one might regard as an offense. So immediately you speak to the person, okay? But the way you also speak to the person is very, very important. You see, that is where a lot of people now began to make the mistakes that you can never, you know, you can never correct an elder, you cannot speak to an elder, and all of that. The point that was being made in the African society is that much as you can correct an elder, much as you can correct anyone, even a child, the way you communicate the information is very, very important. So there's a way you make communication and it is very, very offensive. There's a way you make communication and it shows that the relationship is important to you. In the African society, relationship is more important than the interest that you bring to the table. So when and that is why a lot of people have opined that mediation actually finds its root from the African society and the way we manage conflict.
Mediation, general mediation.
Yes, mediation as a system of resolving disputes, okay, is actually borrowing from the way of life of the African people. So because in the African society, relationship is very, very important. I mean, look at our lifestyle. Look at it all over Africa. The concept of Ubuntu, me before me, I am because you are, and all those things. You come to realize that interest is not as important as relationship.
It's true.
But what usually happens is that people walk into relationships with their interest. That is actually where the conflict begins. The fact that there is something I'm expecting and there's something you're expecting. And so when offense happens, I am more interested in protecting my space and keeping the ace that I've walked into the relationship with than paying attention to the relationship itself. Because sometimes in the pursuit of interest, you will definitely hurt people. In the pursuit of interest, even when you want to say, I am sorry, you fear that when you say you're sorry, you will be taken for granted. It means you're losing grounds. That's why people are unable to say, I'm sorry. That's why they are unable to say, please. That's why they are unable to say, thank you. Because in their mind's eye, they believe that when they say that, they lose grounds. It's a statement for the weak. That's the mentality. But you see, when you're paying attention to relationship, you're more interested in how to preserve and sustain the relationship. So when something comes up, you want to deal with it. So it's not about who was right or who was wrong. So the moment there's a misunderstanding in the home, first there is that time that you deal with it. Meaning it is not every time that you can raise the issue of conflict.
You're right,
It is not every time. The moment when emotions are high and people are upset, whether it is perceived or real, okay, you bring up issues, then you might just escalate the matter or even destroy it a little further. Now, why do we pay attention to that? Because you see, someone who is coming from an environment of abuse, for instance, okay, abuse in the sense that there are just certain experiences that he or she may have had okay, that brought about stigmatization and all of that. You know how it is when people like that, the moment they walk into an environment and you start laughing, they think you're laughing at them.
It's true.
It's not because you're laughing at them, but they just think so. And then they feel offended. And because of it, you suddenly see somebody that has been very good with you and all of that is not even talking to you anymore. And you're wondering, but what did I do to you? It's because of that offense that is existing, but it is perceived. So you need to find the right time to have that conversation. When it is interest that you're pursuing, one of the things you say to yourself is, I didn't offend you, so if there's anything, come and talk to me. Okay? But when relationship is important to you, you can call the person and say, oh, today I saw you, but the way you greeted me, it was not the usual way of greeting me. So I just want to know if there's an issue. Are you okay? Is everything well? You know, is there something I did that upset you? Is there something I'm not paying attention to and all of that? In the process, what are you doing? You are initiating conversation that is going to heal the relationship. Maybe there is something the person needs healing in. Maybe there's something the person needs to receive understanding and education in. Okay? And so when you choose the right time, then you need to make sure that the atmosphere is right.
Okay. There must be a right atmosphere.
Yes, there has to be a right time, a right environment, a right atmosphere, right move.
To resolve conflict.
Yes, it's very, very important. That is why most of the times when in the African society, and any elder that is watching can call in and confirm, most of the times, you know, couples will resolve their misunderstandings either in the dead of the night or very early in the morning. Okay, maybe when the kids are still sleeping or when they know they have a time to themselves. You know, the environment, the weather, everything is cool and everything is calm.
So you can't resolve conflict under a very hot sun.
It's not it's not about the hot sun, but what can be generated in, you know, under a hot sun. Okay, maybe under a hot sun, but you're in an environment where maybe your AC is on and the place is cool. You know why? Because there's just that discomfort when you're under the sun. There's a certain level of discomfort.
And that's Africa. So God created this discomfort for the African.
Well, not discomfort, but
the sun is always shining every time.
Yes, but there's a reason for the sun shining. There's a purpose, you know, that it delivers.
But hence, it cannot make us resolve conflict unless there's AC or there's a cool environment
but when
under a tree.
No, but when it is hot, there's a certain level of distraction that happens. People might not be paying attention to you. It also tells you the level of wisdom, okay, and strategy that was involved in building the African society. The fact that if I'm talking to you and there's anything that is capable of distracting you, it is not the right time to bring up an issue that is going to help the relationship. Because once there's something distracting you, okay, it means you're not paying attention to me. It means there are certain things that you're going to lose. Okay, and for me, in my work as a relationship consultant, it is something that I also pay a lot of attention to. Okay, there is always a good time to address certain issues. Okay, and if you're going to address issues at a time when distractions are bound to happen, then leave it be.
Okay.
Because those distractions can also cause offense. So imagine a situation where somebody is talking to you. The person is, you feel the person is acting up. But the person is just making those moves because of the heat or the discomfort or the fact that there's, you know, but as far as you're concerned, you're not paying attention to me. I'm talking to you and you're not paying attention to me. You see? And so why don't you choose a good time, the right time, under the right atmosphere, okay, to deal with issues of offense or misunderstanding or whatever it is that has come up. Okay, because the moment you do, you know you have this person's attention. You know that this person can actually speak with you without having any distractions. The moment distractions set in, one of the things that happens is that you might not be able to completely resolve the matter at that time. You postpone it. And some of the times it just even fizzles away and then you sweep it under the carpet and hope that it doesn't happen again. Or you leave things too open-ended. That is also in itself a problem. Yes.
For example, there's a problem. You guys find where you don't really talk about it, but you guys become okay eventually. Maybe you started the conversation, you defer it for another time, and then it doesn't happen, but things become cool. Is that dangerous?
Yes, it's dangerous because it means the matter is going to come up again. And it means that the lessons that both parties were meant to learn from that experience have not been learned. So when the matter comes up again, it is very likely that the same thing that caused the offense is going to come up again. Okay, so imagine you raise the issue and then you go, we'll finish it later. I need to take this call. oh, my boss is calling me, so I'll get back to you, and all of that. It kills the matter, but it doesn't resolve the issue.
Sure. Yeah.
You see, so the atmosphere is important. The timing is important. Okay, what are you dealing with? What are the things around you? You need to wait. It also tells you the level of emotional intelligence and maturity that was existing at that time.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Which ought to still be existing among us. Yeah. So you know how it is. So you're offended, you want to react immediately, you want to deal with it now and all of that. But you wait for the right time. Why do you wait for the right time? Now, even though you're the one that feels you've been offended, you're angry, but you can manage your emotions in such a way, that you are able to keep that issue for another time in order to get the best out of it.
Okay.
And that is very, very important, because the moment you decide to just throw it out there, deal with it, have the misunderstanding, there are some people that say, one thing about me is once I'm angry, once you offend me, I deal with it there and then, and then we can move on. Yes. Okay. But what do you hurt? What do you destroy? What do you tear apart at that time? Because you might not have all the time to deal with it in the daytime. Why? Because there's a lot of things crying after your attention. There are people to see, there are kids to take care of, there are siblings to attend to, there's work to attend to. And so you have so many things distracting you. But usually in the night, or when you are done with everything and the person is also free and all of that, it works better. The other thing you can do is, I'd like to talk to you. When do you think is the best time to do that? Okay. Then the person tells you, and you guys agree that there's something that is meant to be addressed. Then you can go ahead and address it at that material time. It also is it helps very much. Okay. Now, this is as it pertains to the two people that are having the misunderstanding. But because the African society is very intertwined, okay, people are observing you. I don't know if it happens to you, but because you are in a certain space with a certain group of people, when there's a misunderstanding between two people out of that group, if you guys are closely knit, you will notice it.
Yes.
And that's why some of the times people walk up to you and say, and when was the last time you spoke with this person?
Yes.
Is everything okay?
Yes. Because they had an expectation how the two of you relate.
Exactly. Okay. So from observation, they immediately see there's something wrong, and they step into the matter to help you resolve the conflict. What are they doing? They're not trying to protect your interest. They're trying to protect the relationship.
Not your personal interest.
Not your personal
Not your expectations.
Not your expectations.
In the relationship.
No, but the relationship itself. So they say, oh, I don't like the way the person spoke to me. And then they'll ask you, did you speak with the person?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think it's something you can handle, or should I speak with the person? Do you see? The intention is to protect relationship. Because in the African society, like I said earlier, relationship is everything, and the moment relationship is affected, productivity is definitely going to be affected.
Yes, the productivity part, I in a past relationship got my heart broken, and almost about 3-4 months I couldn't go to work.
These things happen.
No matter how I try to psych myself, it doesn't. It doesn't click.
It's so true.
So there's some very interesting messages. Though some of them does not directly relate, but because you are a conflict resolution expert and you are a counselor, this person says that if you're going out with a woman in an African society, the woman discusses every single thing that happens between every single thing into bracket conflict that happens between you and her to her friends and her family. Is that a red flag?
It depends on why the person is doing so.
Okay.
Is the person flippant? Is it somebody that just talks anyhow? Or is it a person that discusses it with the intention of finding the wisdom on how to resolve it?
Okay, so let's say let's take the two and advise, because we can't tell the person's intention on the face of it.
Yeah.
So if the person's intention is to seek help, or is to sort of some people, when they speak to somebody, they are not really looking for solution, but they get a satisfaction.
Yes,
exactly.
Yeah.
Are those people choosing friends to have that confined situation with, or with family? Is that the best thing to do in a relationship?
So
not a counselor.
Yes. People have their escapes. Okay. Now everybody should have some kind of person that you refer to as a confidant. Okay, and then we know we've been talking about accountability partners in our conversations.
Yes,
these things are very, very important. Okay, and it's good that you know that, oh, this person, when the person wants to let out steam, these are the people he or she speaks with. It's important that you know who you're speaking with, people that respect the information that you're sharing with them and will never use it against you or judge you. That's very, very important. So maybe you should be more interested in providing that wisdom to guide the person. Okay, so the person knows it's not everybody that you speak with. Okay, you need to speak with people that can help you find that closure, that can help you find the resolution that you're looking for. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, but if it's just a person that just talks anyhow, that's a danger signal.
I get it.
And it means that the person is going to talk anyhow with every other thing. Now, when they also speak with their parents or their siblings or people that are close to them, and the intention is for them to help resolve the issue, then there's nothing wrong with that. The other problem, it could be the problem of the person that sent the message with profound respect. Because there are just some people that want to be seen in a certain way. And so every time there's information that is going to paint them in bad light, they feel violated.
Okay.
So the problem is not the person that is speaking. The problem is you being so secretive about your life. Okay, that you even when you're doing wrong, you don't want anybody to know. And you see, people like that have a deficiency that they need to deal with, because it means that they are creating a space that might lead to abuse.
Okay.
Without realizing it. Okay, they can be perpetrators of abuse, they can be victims of abuse, because they don't want to talk to anybody. You know, they want everybody to think their relationship is beautiful.
Okay.
So the moment they hear that, the person I had a misunderstanding with has spoken to this other person, they feel now everybody knows me, because they are so interested in how people see them. Okay, so the fact that people will say, wow, you're capable of saying or doing something like that, it's more painful for them than the fact that they're even going to get a solution. That's not important. So it could also be the insecurity of the person that sent the message. And if you're dealing with insecurity, the problem is not the person that is sharing the information. The problem is you.
Wow. Okay. So those who have sent your messages, we've seen them. We'll be reading it for you. At this moment, it's 1:41. And we just have 90 minutes to wrap up the show. This is the time for you to call and speak to Mr. Ogo. Now, you know the area of our discussion, so bring your conversations. Wherever you call us from, we'll pick the call. We'll connect you to the TV so you can speak with our counselor here. This one says that, wow, this is the first time I'm getting a different twist to all of that. I must admit that a woman telling the parents or family about conflict between the husband and the wife, or the boyfriend and the girlfriend, is a danger. Family forgives, but don't forget. In most cases, it diminishes or minimizes the kind of love they have for the woman or they have for the man, because every family protects their own. Remember, Mr. Ogo once said that the duty of a man and his family when they marry a woman and bring the woman home is to protect the woman. And even the woman before marriage is protected by her family. And so anything that endangers her life is a situation that should be avoided. Avoid speaking to family people and friends about your relationship problem. At best, speak to a counselor or pray about it. What do you think about it?
So speaking to a counselor is good. Okay. But there are certain things a counselor might not be able to tell you if you're not open enough to share all the various dimensions of the situation.
Okay.
But when you speak with your family, one of the advantages is that, for instance, you're talking to your dad about a misunderstanding you have with me, and your dad is listening to you, but your dad has known you all your life.
Okay.
And knows that it is possible that there was something you said or did that made me react in a certain way. So your dad says, so what did you say to him? And then he said, I just told him that I'll be right back. And your dad said, is that all you said? How did you say it?
Your dad knows that will not,
because he knows you well enough to know that there are just some dimensions that you're not bringing to the table. Okay, so even when you're playing victim in front of him, he knows that you actually contributed to what went wrong. Okay, so there's a value that they bring. And that value is very, very important as well. They might not be professional in terms of addressing the matter, but there's a certain level of wisdom and experience that they can bring to the table.
Yeah.
And there's an advice they can give you that can help you move that relationship in a certain direction. Why? Because they are also interested in relationship.
Yeah.
And the relationship is very important. The second thing is that, you see, don't let anybody fool you. The human mind was not created to forget. So the concept of forgive and forget is impossible. It is not possible to forget. The responsibility we have as human beings is to remember without bitterness, but not to forget. You can never forget. But the fact that you are able to remember it and laugh about it, even with the person, you say that day I have a brick bottle for your head, and then we laugh about it. It shows that you now remember it, but without bitterness. And that is the point that relationship should get to.
True.
The other thing about telling family and then they might just hold it against you is the fact that, you see, those are the things that help us build ourselves, in the area of red flags. So the moment family knows that this is what happened, they hold you accountable. Your own family holds you accountable. The family of your spouse also holds you accountable, because the moment that happens, now they want to know, is this a trait? Is this something we already know happens in the family? Is this, maybe by socialization or by nature? Is this a way that the people behave? If it is a way that the people behave, there are two things. The first one, learn to be realistic about your relationship so you know how to manage it. Okay. So if, for instance, you are in a relationship with someone that when they're upset, they just go quiet, and they might be like that for 2 days. So you already know that's the way the father behaves. That's the way the mother behaves. That's the way the siblings behave. Now, you might not be able to change the person. Your ambition should not even be to change the person. People change only when they see the need to change. You can't make anybody change.
Nobody can make anybody change.
No, you can't change anybody.
But there are a lot of girls who say, I changed this man. I mean, he was an addict to something. I changed him.
They don't know what they are talking about.
People change when they find the need.
Yes. Until people see the need to change, they don't change.
Really?
Yes. So when they pick those things, one of the things now is that you are guided or groomed, on how to manage your reality. And when you're able to manage your realities, you're realistic about your expectation from the relationship. So if what we always say, you don't bring a dog into your life and expect it to behave like a goat.
Yes.
Yes. So you become more realistic because family now knows. And then you become more accountable as well. Because now they know that you behave in this certain way. And people can tell you, if anything happens to this person, you will be held responsible for it. So you need to be careful what you're doing, A, B, C, D, and all of that. It's for accountability.
Wow.
So if you're afraid of it, it's also an indication that there is something you're hiding.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So we are giving out this book. And this book is by Mr. Ogo, and it is the Mastering the Shades of Betrayal. We're giving out this book for free. Very revealing. And so what you need to do is to call us. The callers would get this book. Now, if you don't have any question, just call and also share your experience to us so far as this conversation is concerned. So far as conflict in relationship and marriages are concerned, what has been your experience and what have you had to deal with so far as this is concerned? So we're giving out this book, and let me I think there's a quote I would like to. If you look at the page 5 of the book, and that's something I use for my status on WhatsApp at a point. It says that as long as you are alive, people will disappoint you from time to time. Until I read this, obviously, you have to expect something like that. But it was a difficult reality to admit to, because if you really set your mind up to admit that there will be disappointment one way or the other from people, you then know how to deal. There won't even be any need for unnecessary conflict. You already have psyched your mind for a lot of things. And I mean, I've started mastering my shades of betrayal. I mean, I'm getting prepared. Not like I expect anybody to betray me, but I've put it in my mind that as a human institution, there are so many things that can happen in the way of disappointment that will break my expectation. And today I'm also learning something from what he's educating us, that if we go into relationships, if we go into marriages, if we go into any unism with personal interest or personal expectations than the general good or than okay. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, boys.
Okay, your name and where you're calling from?
I'm calling from Pokwase. My name is Joseph. I just want to contribute to the program.
All right, Joseph, you're live. Let's hear you.
No, okay. Concerning the relationship master you're talking about, right?
Yeah,
discussing issues between partners to family members and stuff. I sometimes think it's good to, I side with what the counselor is saying. Right? It's good to discuss things that happens in relationship with our family members, especially our dad and mom.
Okay.
So that they know what is happening, right? Not to fight your spouse or your partner, but to be aware of whatever is happening, so that in the near future, when something happens, right, they know where it's coming from. Right? Keeping things to ourselves, thinking we can do everything, not letting a third party get involved in what we're doing, might create something that when I don't know how to put it, but when something happens, we won't be able to locate where it's coming from.
Yeah.
You see that thing?
Yeah, I see that.
So, me for instance, I do that with my dad especially, and I take advice from him so that I move on, not to fight anybody, not to do anything, but to be aware of what is happening.
Okay.
You get it?
I get it. All right. Thank you so much for the contribution. I mean, she says that for the purposes of record, and one day she wants to tell the parents so they mark it down.
Yes, and absolutely. And you know one very interesting thing. Now, this is one of the things that reveals that the African society, or in the African society, you didn't have abuse as you have it today.
Hey, in African society?
Yes, in the pre-colonial Africa. No. It was difficult. No, I mean, that's not abuse. That's discipline. They're two different things.
Beating your child.
Yes, that's discipline.
That's abuse in the outside world. You don't beat a child. They have human rights.
Yes, and you see the issues that they're dealing with. These are issues that we don't want to deal with. I remember my immediate older brother looked at my parents one day and said,
"Okay, we have a caller. Hello, good afternoon, sir."
Good afternoon.
Yes, your name and where you're calling from, sir?
Yeah, I'm Dan Sandu, calling from Wale Wale.
Okay, let's hear you from Wale Wale.
Yes. Yeah, Dan Sandu from Wale Wale.
Okay, let's hear you.
Yeah, I want to find out. Yeah, my brother was just talking about knowing the behavior of the family of the spouse.
Yeah.
In the case, modern time.
Yeah.
When we marry from far away, and sometimes without even proper background, how do you resolve this issue?
Okay.
It never happened. And he can find out from his
even when you marry out of distance.
It never happened. Do you know that till today, as I sit here with you, okay, there are Nigerians, Liberians that want to marry a Ghanaian, maybe in Nigeria. They will call you and say, please help us find out about the family.
Yeah.
Till today.
Yeah.
Distance doesn't matter.
It's true.
Even if they are in the US, find out.
Wow.
You remember what I told you the other time about relationship? Everyone is 4 people away from you. Even the president. You know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows the president.
Yes. Okay, we have another caller on the line. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Your name and where you're calling from, sir?
I'm called Jones. I'm calling from Ho.
Okay, let's hear you from Ho.
Okay. I want to ask the counselor some questions.
If you can raise your voice a bit, sir.
I want to ask the counselor some few questions.
He's here.
When he was talking. Hello?
You are live, please. Don't listen to
when he was talking, he said that we don't enter relationship with interest.
Yes.
So
okay, unfortunately we have lost the caller. Please, when you call us, make sure you turn down the volume of your TV set so that we can speak via phone. I know you want to hear yourself from the TV, but it gives us a very bad feedback, and so please help us to have this conversation with you?
Yes, so that inquiry is very, very important.
You must always inquire when you are going
always
to relationship or marriage.
Yes, even from the very beginning we talked about it. These are some of the things, because once you understand the person you're dealing with, you'll be able to manage conflict better. And then check it. Any relationship where people do not have people they speak to, you know, the first level of abuse is isolation. Yes. The moment you see a man or a woman that is being abused in the relationship, the person had already been isolated. That is why that abuse is possible.
Okay.
Even when you want to abuse your house helps, but you know that there are people that come around to check on the house help, you can't abuse them.
Yeah. Because you know they may report you.
Yes. So isolation is the first stage.
Hello.
Hello?
Yes. Good afternoon, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
Good afternoon. I'm Mr. Johnny Nikwe, and I'm calling from Matayeko.
Okay, let's hear you all the way from Matayeko.
Well, I have this issue that I want counselor to clarify.
Okay, he's here.
You see, sometimes in the relationship, you realize that when one offends the other, it is difficult for the other person to
forgive.
Apologize.
Oh, to apologize. Okay.
Yeah. And sometimes you don't understand. You know that the person has offended you, and the person is finding it difficult to say, "Oh, sorry," or something like that. And it brings that kind of friction in our relationship in Ghana here. So I want the counselor to clarify or say something about it.
Okay. Senior, what do you say about that?
You see, this is very interesting, but it's one of the red zones in relationships.
Really?
Yes. You know the person has offended you, but does the person know that he or she has offended you?
Oh, let's say, for example, you are secretly chatting a girl, and you're asking the girl to go on a date with you when you know you have a wife, you have a girlfriend. Maybe not on a bad note that you are requesting for a date or a hangout. Maybe you don't even mean it. You won't even do it. But your partner finds that on your phone. You don't have a bad intention, but you should know that's offensive to her. I mean, you could ask her for that date.
You should know. You see, that's the problem. Some of the times we judge people from our own small world. Okay? I mean, you are planning the tertiary awards now. Yes. Imagine that you're married.
Yes.
Okay? You're planning the tertiary awards. You had to be with Rwand Air yesterday. Yeah. Imagine that the person you went to see is a lady. Okay?
She was a lady. The country manager is a lady.
There was a lady. You know, and you guys now, you're chatting. And you have to keep it on a certain level of cordiality. And then you guys decide to have lunch to discuss further. And somebody sees it. Somebody sees it and goes, you know, now it could be a function of the insecurity. No, it could be the function of the insecurity. Your wife sees it and it's like, so you're talking with a woman. You're going for lunch.
Bring issues,
no, but these are realities.
Really.
So
I won't even, I mean, your partner would expect that you don't even dream to plan lunch. Meanwhile, it's part of the ethics. I mean, going on lunch.
Yeah. But the best business deals are discussed over meals.
Exactly. And
these are realities.
Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, your name and where you're calling from, sir?
Yeah, I'm Blessed calling from Adenta.
Okay, let's say, hey, I'm also in Adenta though, so let's talk more.
Yeah. I want to ask a question.
Very well, sir.
If my girlfriend, who doesn't want to see me converse, hello?
Yeah, you're alive, sir.
If my girlfriend, who doesn't want to see me converse with any other woman, is always on phone conversing with other men with the excuse that she only likes to be in friends, to be in a relationship with, to be friend to men, is that a danger?
Okay, he will let you know whether it's a green flag or yellow or red flag. What do you think about this?
So these things should not be in yes or no. Okay. Is the person insecure? Okay. Or does the person have a reason to behave the way she's behaving? Okay. So we need to look at it. If the person is having a struggle with insecurity, it's a red flag. Okay.
But when you have insecurity,
yes, people that have insecurity issues, they are, the mind is a battlefield already. But when you have insecurity issues, your mind goes into far worse battles that don't even exist. So when somebody is having insecurity issues, and they'll just any man or woman they see around you is a potential boyfriend or girlfriend, and then when they close their eyes, you're sleeping with them. And so it messes up their minds, and they're feeling very inadequate.
And our time is almost up, but I need to ask this: why would ladies, just a few, But why would most women, when you're dating a media person or you're dating somebody who is a business person who has to be, why do they already have, most of them have a psych mind that women will come after you, you are sleeping with women, you don't have to talk to this girl, you have different, because for example, if let's say I am single, imagine me tell a girl I am single. There's no way she's going to believe it. You know?
Because you're in the media.
Of course, though I'm not single, but I'm just saying that, for example, if I was single and I tell somebody that I'm single, or maybe my girlfriend leaves me and I want to move into another relationship, they would not believe. Already they see you as... So maybe the guy, I don't know, we should have asked whether he's in the media or he's in a landscape that makes the girl feel that you don't have to chat with other women, but she has the right to chat with other men.
So that is why I said that there should be there's an issue that has not been properly resolved and properly discussed. But with the issue that you talked about, that is why I keep talking about being realistic about your expectations in a relationship. When you're going into a relationship, there are certain people that you walk into a relationship with that don't belong to you. And it's a reality that you need to deal with. People in the media, entertainers, sports people, politicians, pastors, people that are in the clergy,
counseling and all. You know,
these are people that, you see, they get calls at 2 a.m. They walk into Accra Mall, and people want to take selfies with them. And the moment the selfie is taken, is going all the way to social media. They travel
to Europe, they travel elsewhere,
and you see, then sometimes you don't decide the tag and the title or the caption that is given to the picture. So you see a lady that says, "Me and my boo."
Yes, and you blame the guy,
and you don't even remember taking that picture ever. And so these are realities. So when you're in a relationship with somebody, that is why I said
that question is issue for him.
This is why I said, don't bring a dog into your life and expect the dog to behave like a goat. Or you're in a relationship with a doctor, or a nurse. These are people-oriented jobs. These people don't belong to you. And so you can't say, I'm angry that you took a call at 2 a.m. I'm angry that I saw your picture, just keep them away,
So, Laura, if somebody is dating me or is married to me, they must know that I belong to people. Is that what you are telling them?
If not, the person go crazy.
So they must know that if they are dating me, I belong to people.
But you have the responsibility of making sure that you are decorous in your behavior.
Of course.
Yes, but you will never. Have you ever noticed there's this ethic that comes with politicians and entertainers are doing it now. So you're walking down the street and people are just hailing you and clapping and all of that. You're not looking at anybody particularly, but you're smiling and doing and all of that. It comes with a job.
Yeah, sometimes people want to take pictures. You may even have to assume a posture.
Yes, and you're taking pictures with them and all of that. It comes with the job, and so you need to know, what is consistent. The reality is consistent with the person you're going to a relationship with.
I wish we can do betrayal and insecurity in relationship within the week if there's time. I'll be very, very grateful.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. I think maybe our producer, because he should permit us and see if maybe today's when? Today's Wednesday. So I'll be very grateful if we can. This one we have to beg Mr. Ogo to do this tomorrow. If we can really, somebody's giving an answer that we should do that. I mean, betrayal and insecurity. This is because reading this book, I'm just even about 15 pages through the book because of other activities. I had to leave Accra over the weekend, all of that.
Wow.
But even with the 15 page, there are so many things I'm getting to realize. I mean, I remember they say in the book, it says you don't even leave a cat or with a tuber, something. I mean,
you don't even go to a tuber of
yam. There's some expectations. There are some things we should really expect and all of that. But our time is up. Final words on conflict, its resolution, African marriages, to this camera.
Okay.
Then we can wrap it up.
Okay. So thank you very much for this opportunity. Now, one of the things that I've come out in terms of the calls and the conversations that we've had so far is the fact that people must learn to talk one with another. Conversation is very, very important. Don't assume, don't presume, don't conclude on a matter when you can ask questions and get more information about it. The moment you are able to converse with a person, seeing that person as mature and intelligent enough to relate with you on that level, you are bound to find out the issues that you need to deal with as far as managing conflict is concerned, and then you'll be able to set the boundaries that will guide and sustain your relationship.
Wow. Wow. Very powerful. I'm still speaking to my producer. I'm sure tomorrow we'll have to do that. Tomorrow, dear, Youth Empowerment will take every cost to get you here tomorrow. because this is a very important topic that we would even have to request for some extra time tomorrow. We'll see how we can lobby for that. I have to leave. 3 minutes after 2. This one says that I'm not reading from Yendi. Please, nowadays, I get bored with my woman when she's on the phone. I get annoyed with her nowadays. What can I do? I don't want to be bored with her, but I'm jealous. Okay, this one says, please ask the counselor if he's married. Now, of course, of course, you must ask this question. So, but some private things we don't know. Are you willing to? Okay, well, we're on national TV. This one says that, wow, Richie, did you say you are dating on national television? Please confirm that for us, whether I heard it well or it was a suggestive opinion you are sharing. So you want to know whether I'm dating or not. Oh, so that's your question. Okay, this one is that, please, counselor, I'm the type when I'm being offended by a lady and she later asks for forgiveness, I always find it difficult to forget. There's hi, my woman needs sex from me every single day. Counselor, what should I do? When I deny her, she tends to tell me, there are lots of men who are looking to satisfy her, but she's doing it with me. Even within this week, it is already Wednesday. It's already Wednesday, 25th, and we have already done it twice, Monday and this morning. Hey, this is a relationship problem. Logo will answer this for us quickly. Just this one. See there. They have. What should they do to the woman? This is when time of Pementa. On another exciting edition of Youth Empowerment TV. After the interview we say we want to talk about, we want to be dealing drug, aphrodisiac. I think next week or so we'll be discussing that. The intake of young people in drug abuse, tramadol, name it, cannabis, marijuana, all this are illegal, cocaine, ecstasies. Nana Kwesi is jumping about. I don't know why. I mean, all of these things, the abuse of it. We would have Mr. Ogo sit in as guest together with a medical professional as well. Then we'll look at this abuse within next week coming.